Hello. The story that I'm bringing to you today is a two-parter. Unfortunately, because my account is so new, I cannot upload a video longer than 15 minutes. As it would happen, this one ended up being somewhere around 16 minutes, of course, so I will be uploading it in two parts. Here is the first part. My daughter is scared of the monster in her closet, and she should be. Past the blaring light of the hallway, I could only see her silhouette. "There's a monster in my closet," she said. My wife was more awake than me. She started to get out of bed. "No," my daughter said. "You don't go, Mommy. Dad is braver." "Peter, you hear that? Apparently you're braver," my wife mumbled as she slid back in the covers. "I am," I said. The girl took after her mother with the overactive imagination. This wasn't the first time our daughter had woken us up in the middle of the night with abstract fears, and I feared it wouldn't be the last. As I dug my slippers out from beneath the bed, I convinced myself that with a bit of rational thinking, I could put an end to these 2 a.m. wake-ups. "It's the squiggle again," she whispers, dangling her legs from the bed. The squiggle was just another in a long list of creatures that would hide in my daughter's closet. There were goblins, there were bears, and after a fumbled explanation of world politics, Osama bin Laden shared the closet space for about a month. That night, it was the squiggle. She kept on looking at the closet door, expecting me to open it like I always did, but I didn't. Instead, I sat down next to her on the bed. "Can you describe the squiggle to me, Annie?" I said. She looked back at the closet as if she was asking it for permission to speak. "It doesn't feel real," she finally whispered. "Well, Annie, that's because it's like spaghetti, but with eyes, and it's on fire." Her eyes were filling up with tears again. "It doesn't feel real. It's like a drawing that no one should ever draw. It doesn't feel real." "Annie, have you ever considered the squiggle doesn't feel real because it isn't actually real?" "What does consider mean?" she asked, wiping her tears. It's when you think about something really hard. It's when you think about something you thought was true, but you think about it really hard, and you realize it's not true." The thoughts of the closet drifted from her face. She was no longer a scared child. She was a young mind trying to make sense of the world. "Do you ever consider things?" "Yes," I said, "all of the time." "And does it help?" "When I was about your age, your grandfather used to take me to the lake every weekend. One time, while we were out swimming, he told me that there was an angry octopus that lived inside the lake that ate little boys. I got so scared, I refused to get back in the water." "And was there an octopus?" "No, your grandfather was just playing a trick on me. There was never any octopus in the lake, but I didn't believe that. The octopus felt real to me. After hearing my grandfather's story, I was sure I could feel the octopus in the water. I was sure he was there." "But then you considered that he wasn't there," my daughter said thoughtfully. There was awe in her voice, as if I had revealed some grand cosmic secret to her. "You considered and you weren't scared anymore." A bit of the summer breeze drifted in through the open window. My daughter no longer seemed scared. I felt like a good dad. "Do you want to consider that maybe the squiggle is just a figment of your imagination?" "What's a figment?" "It doesn't matter. Just consider that there is no monster in your closet." "Okay." She shut her eyes in concentration. For a moment, she struggled with her thoughts, but then her eyes opened. She smiled. "Thank you, Daddy," she said. Outside, the sky was a chaotic smattering of stars. Somewhere off in the distance, a police siren crawled into the night. I was the only one looking at the closet. "Not scared anymore?" I asked. "No. I considered the squiggle might not be real, and now I'm not scared." "Great," I said and got up. "Good night, Annie." "Good night, Daddy." She pulled her unicorn covers over herself and shut her eyes. I looked at the closet. It was covered with cartoon horse stickers that had fused themselves into the wood. The closet would forever remain covered in ponies. It perplexed me how anyone could be scared of such a harmless piece of furniture. "Hey, Annie," I said, eyeing the closet handle. "Want me to check inside of the closet?" She sat up in bed, confused. "Why? There's nothing there." Another rush of pride went through my lungs. The talk had gone better than expected. "For old time's sake," I said. She laughed at me, as if I was ridiculous for suggesting that something might be in the closet, but she sat up in bed to get a better view. I grabbed the handle and prepared to swing the door open in a theatrical fashion, but I couldn't. I was positive that there was nothing in the closet. I knew that the squiggle was just a product of my daughter's imagination. I even found the idea of a spaghetti with eyes to be a bit funny, yet somewhere deep within me, a primal fear bubbled. I was consciously aware that the closet was empty, but there was doubt in my heart. "Daddy?" she asked. "Are you scared?" "No," I said. "I'm not scared." I pulled open the door and defiantly stared into the abyss of tiny dresses and coats. For a brief moment, my chest clammed. For a brief moment, my rational mind took control and chastised me for being overly dramatic. But then, in the darkness of the clothes, I saw movement. I saw it. Thank you so much for listening to part 1. If you would like to continue to part 2, you can do that right now in the link below. If you enjoyed this audio, please consider giving it a thumbs up or possibly giving my channel a follow.